Welcome back to the Table Games Network. I'm Ginger Joey.
And I'm Corey, Pig in the City.
Pig in the City?
Have you not seen Babe and Babe Pig in the City?
Oh, okay. So this is gonna sound bad. I
Okay.
I was I was going to the kids cartoon show Peppa Pig and thinking Pig in the City from Peppa Pig. And the sad part is I don't have kids, so why would I know Peppa Pig?
Yeah, I mean, I
I
know Peppa Pig exists. That's all I got.
I don't know. Okay. So
Yeah, I
we're getting
just rewatched Babe, and it's still the sweetest of movies. It's so
oh sure,
saccharine and wonderful.
sure.
And I was like, I love this. That'll do,
Makes
Pig.
makes
That'll
me want bacon all the time. Um,
do.
so
Yep.
this is our Sunday breakdown, Sunday analysis. What were we calling this? Sunday summary. That's what we were
Sunday
calling this.
summary.
Sunday
Yeah.
summary. So we're getting back in the groove of things. We just completed a weekend of PQs and showdowns. So
Yeah,
I
getting back into
myself,
things. I'll say, like, yeah, we've been a little absent for a bit. It largely was on my side. Some life things got in the way, so that kind of limited our recording a bit. But getting back in the groove now, we're really starting to push stuff out. Getting back and doing the Sunday summaries again, and look to see a fair amount more content coming in the coming weeks. Also of decks and things like various Twin Suns, various decks, various Thursday throwdowns. More to come in the near future. Now that we're getting back in the groove.
was it Corey? Corey got his groove back. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Just call me Stella.
Oh Lord. Right. So this weekend we had a PQ here in the Portland area. I personally played in that one. If you haven't watched that, Unlimited Power, our buddy D-Rod, he was actually doing the live stream of that, and I did some color commentator on that as well. So you can always
And
go
I
back.
joined in for some color commentary also. So you've
Oh, you
got
did.
both of us actually popping up on some color commentary.
Oh, so when you popped by, you swung in and did some of that.
Yep, I swung
Oh,
by. I
okay.
did. I just did one match, just while I was just stopping by to see everybody. I also just sat down and just did a really entertaining Palpatine Tarkentown versus Piet Red game that I highly recommend watching.
Okay. Palpatine Tarkentown versus what?
Piet Red,
Oh,
just your
okay.
normal Piet.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure, sure, sure. Cool.
yeah.
So, all right.
So yeah,
So
yeah.
I'll try to put a link in the video for that as well. And then Corey today on Sunday competed in a showdown, but it wasn't your typical showdown. Corey, what was it?
It was a box showdown. So we were brought in. It was low cost to entry. I mean, low cost for a box, that is. And everybody there got a box. We had 24 players, and we broke our boxes open and constructed 50 card decks out of the entire box, which was a lot of insanity and a really fun time. And I was able to go undefeated. Unfortunately, my breakers weren't quite good enough to get me first place, so I ended up second, but I'm not complaining at all. I got a box, and I was telling Joey, my box had 9 legendaries, so I have no complaints whatsoever about the day, and it was a really fun time.
So, how much time did you get to build your deck?
So that was an issue we came up to, and we had some discussions with Matt. This was at Red Castle Games here in Portland. We had some talking with Matt. So because we originally did, it was an hour to break and build, and that ended up
Break
feeling
and
really
build?
compressed. Yes, so that ended up
Oh.
being really compressed. So what he did is after round one, we did another 30 minutes of you can work on your deck some more and make tweaks and redo them, whatever you want to do, just to give that little bit extra time. And if it's done again, talked about it more. We think the best way to do this, and yeah, if you're a game store watching this and thinking about doing it, we think 75 minutes to build, to unpack and build, to sort, build, and all that stuff, and then another 15-minute break after round one is probably the best way to do it, because that allows that, get it put together, gives you enough time so you're not stressing about, oh, I've just really rushed to get it together. And then after round one, you see how it does, you can go back and make those tweaks in that 15 minutes. So that, we think, is probably the optimal way to do it.
I don't know if I like the making tweaks concept to it, but because it's like,
I think you need 90 minutes is really needed altogether. And I think it's fair to,
why not just do the 90 up front then?
you could, but I think it's not bad to let you get one run on the deck, see what it feels like, and adjust it a little bit.
Eh, all right.
Yeah,
Anyway, so it was a nice
it was
little.
a it
It
was
was a
all
change of
fun.
pace. It was an alternative change of pace. If I didn't
Yeah,
work Sundays, I probably would have been there. But unfortunately, my schedule does not allow me to do the Sunday tournaments. So, but I'm glad you had some
yeah.
fun. That I love alternative ways of playing the game in general. So if you're thinking outside the box, and Steve over at Red Castle is fantastic about outside the box thinking when it comes to running his tournaments. So.
Oh, it's Matt at Red Castle.
Matt. Why did I say
Yeah, Matt.
Steve? Is there a
I
Steve
don't know.
Castle?
I don't think so. I think you're thinking Steve out of Battlegrounds.
No, I was like, I swear I keep on thinking like in Discord, but yeah, I think you're right. It's Matt. It's not
Yeah,
Steve. My bad. My bad, Matt.
yeah. He does a lot of fun stuff. He's got a sealed PQ coming up in February as well, which should be a wonderful time. I think we're
I
both signed
will
up
be
for
at
that.
that one. Yep, I will be at that one.
Yeah, and that's going to be another great time. I think that is nearly sold out at this point,
Oh, I thought it was sold out. So
or maybe completely sold out.
right.
And that's, I think that's worth mentioning. Like as we start to go into these PQs, I still think, as we've talked in the past, Fantasy Flight needs to look at the point system, the attendance, because what we're seeing over this last weekend is we had a lot of PQs.
I'll
The
go ahead and
only
bring
one
up the
with a
website.
lot of attendance was here in Portland. Our PQ had 110 people. Most of the other PQs we saw this weekend was 30 to 50. We had a couple 60s, maybe a couple 80s, but it was a lot lower attendance. And again, if that's what they want, I think we need more PQs in the Pacific Northwest. Or if they're looking to have more attendance, I think, yeah, if they're going to keep it spread out like this, I think they need to make some adjustments to the point system because honestly, it kind of sucks for us out here that every PQ that we have is packed. So your odds of getting points are significantly lower.
Well, not to sound like a woe is me thing, because I don't want to say that like
Yeah.
we
Oh,
don't
I
like
love that we
the.
have these many people. Yeah.
Yes. I love the healthy player base that we have here. And I think the bigger thing is just scaling the points is the way to go about doing it.
Yep.
So you start at a base 32, every 32 players you get up to the 128 cap or 120, whatever. Yeah, 128 cap.
Yeah.
Then, so you have like four tiers of point systems based off of attendance at the PQs. And I think that that's going to make it feel like you can grind into the invite at that point in time. Because right now, unless you're in a consolidated area with a lot of PQs really close by, the point structure doesn't allow for that grind to actually happen. So,
Yeah.
that
Yeah. And
said,
it's not going to change this season really at all. This is going to stay the same all season, but I hope Fantasy Flight is thinking about this for next season after the next Galactics.
that said, they're looking at the winners of the PQs. Now, there's a few pictures missing, so you can't actually tell who won. But it's pretty standard par for the course. We got some
Yep.
blue-green villain control with the Emperor on a Colossus, I'm assuming, but could be wrong on that. You have your Yodas, your Hans. Now we got the yellow creeping in thanks to the Arizona bringing that popularity back up. And we'll have our interview with our own Julian from Portland, who got fifth at the Arizona sectors. So if you want to check out that interview, you can always look for that as well. But he had that Han mono yellow deck as well for that. You have your Han 2 data vaults, more Yodas, Cad Bane, which came back into popularity thanks to Arizona as well. And then your Piet still. Oh, so a Piet finally took one down. So Piet has always been the bridesmaid, never the bride. And it's finally got its comeuppance and took one down out
Yeah.
in Indiana.
Also, that Indiana, I think it's worth highlighting. Fifth place there was a Bosk Tarkentown, which is fun.
Yeah, yeah. And then you have a Sabine Mono Red that took one down, an 86 player one. So that's also a fun
Mm-hmm.
one to hit up. So,
And that had the Thrawn Yellow in the top four too, which is
yep.
fun.
And we also have a Sly Moore that took one down in England, I believe. UK, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was on the
Yeah, so
18th. That was
yeah, that
that
was
was
back last weekend, but
yep,
we
that
were
was
here,
last
and
weekend.
that was also limited, so that wasn't constructed.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a
I
good
mean,
point. Yeah.
we're seeing this meta is what this meta is. It's a lot of the same suspects. It's the same thing all over again. It's kind of what I mean. It's got my interest in constructed kind of down a bit. I know Joey's still having a good time, and that's fine. That's gonna be how it is as a player of CCGs. You're gonna have metas that you're like, this isn't for me. Those always pop up, and that's kind of how I feel about this one right now. But it's still, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's an unhealthy meta. There's still a good variety of leaders that are getting there. It's just the usual suspects in general that we've seen over and over again still coming back.
So then that lends to this kind of question. So I am always personally an advocate for pushing the envelope instead of conforming to the envelope. If it's always the same decks that are winning, is it better to conform and just learn to play them better, hopefully, than your opponent? Or should you be trying to push the envelope and break the current meta?
That, in my view, it depends on the power level of those decks. Like when you have a handful of decks that are kind of on their own power level, which I would argue we have right now. I think the Han 2s and the Han 1s are kind of on a top tier, followed by the rest that are not far behind. But it becomes one of those, there's enough different decks that it's hard enough. It's a challenge to break the meta and get back there. When you have a handful of decks that are really doing well, but they're not at this, I think, this difference in power level that we have between set one and set two leaders and a lot of later leaders, then I think it becomes a, yeah, you should be looking to just break the meta. If everybody's going to be playing these few decks and you can build something of out of the left field that is going to be pretty close power level wise, then I feel it's good. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say that it's undoable. We're seeing some non-meta decks pop up there. Like they're going to happen sometimes, but your odds are, you're going to be really reliant on draws at that point in time, which is challenging. Whereas, yeah, if it's a meta where there's not as egregiously, I think, I don't want to say broken decks, but Han 2 is a problem leader. Not broken problem like Django, but he's just so good. Resource cheating, again, anytime there's resource cheating, that's a problem. I think Krennic's going to become a problem next set or post rotation. I think Han Pilot could be a problem. Like when you're allowing resource cheating on leaders, that gets broken pretty quickly.
I have to go back and look at Krennic. I don't remember what he does. So
He creates a credit token every time. He just taps and creates a credit token.
Okay, so if we want to jump into a little bit of Lawless Time speculation, then
Yeah.
um, credit tokens, I liked the concept of them
Mhm.
being a temporary jump in power that you could then maximize, but it didn't affect your leader flips because that's really where you can get some egregious swings is when you can flip your leaders that are meant to be. I mean, there's a cost on your leader for a reason because the power level of
Yeah.
the leader is dictated by, oh, this is a cost or this is a power level of X cost leader, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
When you can offset that and bring those leaders out earlier than they are cost rated to, then you create a power vacuum, so to speak.
Hmm.
So the credit tokens were going to be a way of ramping without accelerating your leaders. And I was
Yeah.
actually very much encouraged when I heard that that's what they were looking at doing was slowing that down. Then I saw the ramp cards that they released out of the next set, the permanent
Yeah.
ramp ones, right? Now the four cost what is it? The
uh,
three
expendable
three
expendable
expendable
mercenary. Yeah,
mercenary. Yep.
4 costs. I think he's good. I
I
think
think
he's perfectly a reasonable ramp.
I think he's solid, mainly because he's universal. There is no villain or heroic side to him, so both sides can play him. And the resource comes in exhausted. I think that was the biggest issue with SLT in the first set was that you got a readied resource out of it. So then it caused that like those flip and power plays became really like breaking at times. Like
Yeah.
thinking mainly like of Akira overwhelming barrage. That flip turn is just like, okay, you're done.
Yeah.
Um, but then I saw the second ramp card, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's like double resupply, but it's on 6 resources. That's pretty late. That's pretty late." But I don't think enough people were considering if I have 2 credit tokens, I
Yep.
can play that on the 4 resource turn, which then puts 2 resources down, and my next draw phase, I'm putting a 7th resource down. I
Hmm.
literally am accelerating from 4 resources to 7 with one action. And
Yep.
depending
And
on how
that's
prevalent the credit tokens are, that could be a huge problem.
Yeah, and that's where I say Krennic is going to be a potential issue. Actually, I was wrong. It is tap. He has to action tap, and he does have to defeat a friendly unit. But that's not the end of the world. I mean, we have porgs for one thing that are free. So I mean, filling his deck up with a lot of 0/1 cost units so he can get a bunch out, so he can get a credit token turn 1, a credit token turn 2. Then he does that double ramp turn 3, and he's flipping his 7 cost leader on turn 4.
Does his ability cost a resource to use?
No, it's just tap and defeat a friendly unit.
So then that means that any units that have when defeated triggers will also then be able to instantly pop on the turn that they're put into play as well.
Yep.
So
So that gave me concerns immediately. That's a prob. Yeah,
don't say
I
it's a
foresee
problem because
that
we
being
don't
an
know
issue.
anything. This is all speculation
Yeah,
at this point in
and
time. So
that's the flip side. There's ways out of this. Like I'm hoping to see. I mean, we're getting credits. My expectation is we probably should see something that can steal credits or destroy credits. You know, like they're credits. That's what you do with credits. You steal them. So that could be a good counterplay to that. Oh, you're going to make these credits. I'm just going to take them. So there is potential for drawback, and I'm hoping that's what we see. I mean, thematically, it makes sense, and I'm assuming we're probably going to see that. It'll probably be yellow. It would make sense for yellow to have the ability to steal credits. Maybe red has the ability to destroy credits. Like those would be thematic plays that I could see. So something like that to add risk to sitting on token or credits to be able to play units is a good counterbalance for the power that credits could give and could make it much more risky for Krennic to try that. And then it's not as concerning. But right now, from what we've seen, it's a little concerning.
well, that said, though, we have seen a lot of the higher costed units with
Yeah.
bigger stats coming into play, but that might be because they are compensating for the fact that credits exist.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? You might have to play the credit game to actually get these things to be viable. So again, all pure speculation. Neither one of
Yep.
us know for sure anything. This is just what we see and what like our brains gravitate towards as we're viewing things that are coming out. Um, the other thing that I will say is Galen Urso can turn off credits.
Yep, that is true. Galen can turn them off. So there's one right there. Yeah, I'm not going to say it's broken right now. I need to see more, and I'm hoping that they planned it well, and I trust in hopefully that they did. If not, I mean, if they don't have a good counterbalance, the one card I could see potentially getting a ban is that double ramp because, yeah,
Yeah, you,
that's a lot. That's a lot if you can play it around turn 4.
it's
Yeah,
well, they'll just have to see what's going to happen with it. But it's the I don't
yeah,
like to use the word broken at all because to me, for something, I mean, it's of concern. But I think of
yeah.
anything that to me, broken is a term that is kind of back from long time ago. That
Yeah,
needs to it has like a certain threshold that you have to hit for something to be considered broken, in my opinion. And
yeah.
I don't think, especially without actually playing the cards, we can even make that assessment at all. So
Yeah, I guess yeah, broken is not the right term for it. Like could become overly dominant in the meta quickly. And it could become either you're playing a double ramp deck or you're going to probably lose.
well, yeah, that's
Um,
that's what would make me concerned about it is that it becomes you have to do this, otherwise you can't be competitive at all.
yeah,
And it was slowly feeling like that was the case at the end of this secrets like season that like if you weren't playing some kind of a ramp to get there or resource cheating, you just couldn't compete.
yep,
So I really don't want to see that continue because there is a lot of fun leaders that just get shut down by stuff like that. That like it's like I can't even really play them. So
mhm,
then it just homogenizes too much stuff. And
yeah,
I like to see the diversity. It's fun to see the diversity when you go to a tournament. Like the PQ that I just played, I took a GI deck just because
yep,
I love the leader, even though I knew full well going into it that if I faced Tarkentown decks, I was probably screwed. And sure enough,
mhm,
the I had I went 4-3. the 2 losses I had before the very final round, which didn't really matter at the very end anyway,
Yeah.
was to 2 Tarkin Town decks. So
Yep.
sure, my prediction was correct. I lost to Tarkin Town decks. I beat the other decks that I played. And then the very last match was against Sam, our buddy. We ended up playing some friendly fire at the very end. It was just like,
Yeah.
well, it doesn't really matter at this point in time because neither one of us were going to be making top after that. So
Yeah. And by the way, Joey was on stream a game, so you can see his GI deck perform quite well. It was a beast of a deck. So
it
yeah,
had its moments.
go back and watch that stream. It is a fun one to watch. Yeah, and that's the other thing I'll say is the other aspect. We haven't really talked about the new set because we haven't obviously been doing these Sunday summaries, but I'm really excited about the double aspect cards. Like those are fun. I like how they are stronger, but they force you into. You really need to try to use these two aspects to build your deck to be able to use this card well. And the problem again with this, if double ramp becomes required, then oh well, if it doesn't have green in the double aspect, then you probably can't play it. So that kills a good chunk of the cards. Well, not a good chunk, but a good chunk of I think the cooler cards in this set. So I hope it doesn't happen. I'm a little worried, but again, I hopefully if it does become a problem early, that Fantasy Flight will recognize it quickly. So we'll see how it goes. And again, there's still potential for things to get spoiled that change things drastically. If you could destroy credit tokens or steal credit tokens, that's a whole other game.
We'll see. Like I said, it's
Yeah.
just I like the concept. I just hopefully it's well implemented. It'll also be interesting to see how credit tokens affect future sets because if we know the way it's been thus far is that whatever
Mhm.
mechanic gets introduced into the set, you never see it again for the rest of the
Pretty
existence of
much.
the game. The only thing that we've had be considered evergreen going forward that got introduced was the hidden mechanic.
Yeah.
So
We got some capture outside of we got some capture outside of Twilight, right?
capture isn't a keyword.
Oh, that's true. That
Capture
isn't
capture
the
is
keyword. You're
just
right. Yeah,
a
yeah,
tool that is used on certain cards. But
yeah.
the only
That's true.
keyword that has been evergreened is hidden. So the other closest thing you could say is that experience and shield tokens have repopulated, but do those really count?
Yeah,
Therefore, are tokens considered the set exclusive thing or not? So,
yeah,
because it's technically a token, does that matter? But then droids and clones we never saw outside of Twilight. Or was it Twilight?
yep,
Yeah, Twilight.
yeah,
Um, so are we going to see spy tokens outside of Secrets of Power? Or are those only going to happen with Secrets of Power? I don't know.
yeah,
I mean, it's just what are they going to do? But then these credit tokens, like they're going to have to consider them when they're creating any cards going forward, at least for the next 2 year cycle, as far as power level and ease of getting into play. I think these
hmm
credit tokens are going to have a much bigger influence on the shape of this meta going forward, well beyond this next set that's coming out.
yeah. And I mean, I do think that is part of Fantasy Flight's goal. Like they've kind of said like their goal is they want to see more bigger units and interactions with those units. They want to see these bigger units coming out and being interacted with more. So that's kind of I think the purpose there. Without again, as you mentioned, accelerating leader deploys as well.
Right. The one big thing
Yeah.
that I've actually been seeing that I've liked so far is that the removal in this next set so far seems to be contingent on having something else in play to utilize. There is a
Yep.
removal card that is based off of the number of credits you have. It does damage equal to that. There is removal cards that are like you have to have a unit in play and you give them a buff, kind of like a craving power, and then they do damage. There
Yep.
is the stuff like that. I like the removal being contingent on board state, opposed to just here's removal out of my hand, goodbye. It's like there's no interaction when that happens. So
Yeah. I'm just sad about the one that's basically the screw you Kazuda removal. That makes
what?
me
So
sad.
what? How does that make that a screw you, Kazuda? Like you mentioned that before, and I don't understand that
Be,
one.
well, because Kazuda deploys on 4. He's pretty much always on a 2 or 3 cost ship. That's it. If you're gonna put him in space, he's always gonna go on a 2 or 3 cost ship, and that immediately kills him. Then,
So I
which
don't,
is sad.
no, I don't think you're playing it right.
I'm joking. It just makes me sad.
So again, we have credits. You can deploy a 4-cost ship on the 3 resource turn with a credit, and then when Kazuda flips on 4, he's going on to a 4-cost ship. Now that removal doesn't do anything to him.
If you can get those credits, like that's contingent on how
Sure.
you're able to get ticket credits, such.
Well,
But
we already
yeah,
know there's
no, it's not completely. It's just like I saw that, I'm like, oh, poor
sure.
Kazuda, I'm so sad.
No, we already know of one card already that is a yellow card, costs 1. You pay it, and you get basically you turn it into a credit.
Yeah.
So, and Kazuda's yellow, so that fits right into his motif kind of thing. So, yeah, I think it's just going to be a matter of adapting and figuring things out. I don't think there's anybody that
No,
dies to that. The biggest one that everybody's talking about was like on Chewie, and I'm like, stop putting Chewie on 3-cost ships. I mean,
yeah,
that's easy. I
you
learned
don't
that
need to
lesson
put
from
Chewie out turn 2.
Traitorous.
You could wait another turn and put him out on a 4 cost. That
Yeah.
just You're
Once
playing
people
against a
started,
blue deck. I'll wait another turn.
yeah. Once people started traitorsing the ship that Chewie was on, I was like, that's the lesson you learned right then and there. Don't put him on a 3-cost ship.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Like, duh. Like if the deck has the cards that kill a 3-cost ship, if Chewie's on it, then don't put him on there. It's that simple.
yeah.
I mean, heck, hold on. Chewie's just fine to play on the ground at 5 too. By the way, like you can wait till then and play him on the ground. Even he's a 5/6 that can't be defeated. That's not a bad thing either. Like,
why are you waiting till
you
5?
don't
Just
have
cheat
to
him in
play him
early.
turn 2. Yeah, like he's not I got to get him out right away and start. It's like, be strategic. It's like, be smart about your plays. You gotta, as always, you gotta know what your opponent could potentially have and what you need to play around.
Yep. Anyway, well, I think that's going to wrap us up for this Sunday summary. Just like a quick little get back into the groove of things. And so, yeah. So keep it out there. Go to your PQs, hype everything up, do your part to make SWU as good as you possibly can. And we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, everybody.